Okay, so the only difference or thing that we need to know is some of the questions ask us to do this thing called, or to use this thing called slope point form. Okay, all of these forms do serve a different purpose. So we've used slope intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. We've used standard, which is ax plus bx plus c. We've been able to go from one of these to the other one just by rearranging. That's all we need to do. And now we're going to look at slope point form. Okay, so slope point form uses our formula y minus y1 equals, m bracket x minus x1. Okay, so x1, y1 is a point on a line. And m is our slope, just like normal. Okay, so it's a little bit different. It's similar to our slope intercept form, but it's not exactly the same. So I'm going to quickly show you how to use it, and then we're going to go into looking at some of our questions from our homework today. So let's see if a good example here. Okay. Write an equation. The equation of a line with a slope of -2. Remember, any number like this is like -2 over 1. So our rise is down 2, and we're going to the right 1 each time. And then, what was the other part? There we go. And then the line passes through the slope of this and passes, passes through the point 1, 4. So normally what we would do is we would substitute this information into our slope intercept form. So typically it would look like this. mx plus b. Our slope will get put into m here. So we would have -2 over 1 x. I'll get rid of the x for now. X plus b equals y. And then in order to find our y-intercept, we would plug in the point that we were given. So this piece of information, change the color. This piece will get plugged in for y and x. And so I would be left with 4 equals -2 over 1 times by 1 plus b. Okay? So that is our slope intercept form. Everyone remembers this? Okay. So solving for this, we would get -2 plus b equals 4 plus 2 on both sides. So b is equal to 6. Okay, so our y-intercept, I'm just going to write this up here so we don't forget it. Intercept is equal to 6. So the point on the line would look like 0, 6. Now, I can also use slope point form. Personally, not my favorite way to solve for it, but some people like it, so we're going to go through it. So we're going to substitute m and our point into slope point form. And slope point form, again, is y minus y1 equals m and then x minus x1. That table, I'm pretty sure the wheel locks just don't work very well. So I don't even know if it's his. Did he?
Yes.
Oh, just don't unlock the table. Okay, so what that will look like here is I'm going to take my slope and I'm going to put that in for m here, okay? And then I'm going to take my 1 and my 4 and plug those in where I see the y1 and the x1. So my y1 was 4. And my x1, whoops, is minus 1 here. And then I still have my y. So right now, this looks more confusing, but what we're going to end up with is a very similar equation, or we would solve using a similar format that we ended up doing. So when I have these brackets, I'm going to expand my brackets here. So I'm going to multiply. I'm going to get negative 2x over 1, just so we can keep it as our slope. And then I'm going to get negative 2 times negative 1, which is plus 2. That's going to be equal to y minus 4. If I add 4 to get y by itself on both sides, I'm left with y equals negative 2 over 1, x plus 6. So this is just a different way of finding our y-intercept. Whatever way you like more is totally fine. This is the same thing. I'm just going to write this out as saying y equals negative 2x plus 6, so without the 1 underneath. Either way, it works totally fine, and you are able to use that to answer the question. It doesn't matter to me, unless the question specifically asks you to use a certain method. So if we go into let's look at our homework questions here. We're going to take a look at question 1. I have assigned B and C. And so I'm going to look at A here. And so A says, write the slope-intercept form. Intercept form of the line with the information given. Okay, and then it gives us our slope and our y-intercept. So slope is equal to negative 2, and our y I'm just going to write instead of intercept because I'm getting lazy. You can too. Equals 5. So I need to put this into my equation. So y equals mx plus b. That's my slope-intercept form. So just make sure you're using the right one for the question that's being asked. And my slope gets substituted in for m here, and my y-intercept gets subbed in for b. So then I have negative 2x plus 5 equals y. Okay, nice and easy. That's all you're doing for this type of question. Question 2 says, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line with the given slope and passing, did I give question 2? I did, yeah. Passing through the given point. Use the point slope form in some of the questions. So at least one of these questions, because it doesn't really care or matter, you're going to use slope point form. So I'm going to use slope point form on 2A as well. So 2A here gives me the slope of 3, and it passes through 1, 2. So slope point form, let's look back up at our equation here, is y minus y1 equals m bracket x minus x1. So I'm going to plug in what I know. So my slope, that gets plugged in for m. So it's 3. My x value gets plugged in here. So this is bracket x minus 1. And then my y value gets plugged in over here. So this is 2. That should have been an equal sign. Sorry. Okay. Now I need to expand my bracket. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 1 is minus 3. And that is going to be equal to y minus 2. What do I do now? How do I get y by itself? What's my last step here? What do I do to get y by itself? Kevin?
Add 2 on each side.
Or Chelsea, perfect. So plus 2 to each side. So I'm left with y equals 3x minus 1. Okay? So that's how you would solve this using slope point form. If you wanted to use slope intercept, it'd be the same thing. You're just plugging in for your x and y and solving for your b there. But this gives you your equation in one easy step instead of having to rewrite it afterwards. Any questions about that? Okay. What other questions did I give you? 4. Okay. So 4, I've given you A and C. 4 says write the slope intercept form. I'm going to go down to the next page here. Write the slope intercept form of the equation of a line passing through, I'm going to do B. So I'm going to write passing through 0, 4 and parallel to 2x minus y equals 6. What's the first thing? When I hear parallel, what do I need to look for in my numbers or my two lines? What do they have that's the same? Okay, so parallel lines have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. So in a question like this, I want to start by finding the slope of a line in the given equation, not the point. Equation. So I'm going to rearrange this equation up here to put it in a way that I can read slope from it. So my slope intercept form is going to be what I'm going to choose here. So I'm going to have my original 2x minus y equals 6. I'm going to keep y on this side, but I'm going to minus 2x from both sides. So then I'm left with negative y equals negative 2x plus 6. Now I don't want a negative y, I want to make that positive, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1. That gets rid of those negatives. And I'm left with y equals 2x minus 6. Does that make sense, that step there? Okay. What's the slope of this line? What's my m? So if I had it like this, what number lines up with m? 2, yes. So my m, or my slope, is equal to 2 or 2 over 1. Doesn't matter which way you write it to me. Okay, so now I know my slope of this line that I need to draw, but I need to write out the slope of a line, or sorry, slope intercept form of the equation of the line passing through this point. You can use slope point form or you can use slope intercept form. Which one would you like me to show you right now? Point form or intercept form? Intercept, okay. So y equals mx plus b. I'm going to plug in my slope of a line. So 2 over 1. Then I'm going to take this x point here and plug that in for my x variable here. And I'm going to take this y point and plug it in for this y over here. And I'm left with solving for b. So 2 times 0 is what?
2.
Yeah. Okay, so 0 plus b, 0 is just a 0, so I just have 4 equals b. So my y-intercept for this one is 4, whereas my y-intercept for this line here was 6, or negative 6. So all I'm going to do when I write out my equation of the line, so my answer, is going to be y equals 2 x plus 4. Okay, so that's what this question is asking you to do. Any questions? Okay, let's see. Does the same for question 5, except you're looking for perpendicular lines.